Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Glitched Velocity. I'm your host Wazad, and this video is a continuation of my previous video in the series named How to Create 2D Games Without Programming. In previous video we have created a 2D character with some animations and a player movement controller. But in this video what we are going to do is we are going to add a camera follow to our player, and we will be fixing some animation switching issues, focusing mainly on the jump animation. So without further ado, let's get started. But before starting, I want you to download all the extensions and behaviors we're gonna use in this video from the links in the description down below. You can go to my website www.neophyte.cf to download the extensions, which are do something if an object is on ground, or camera script behavior for 2D games. And we are going to need this do letter action, which is available to download from the official Ambiera website. And if you haven't already watched my previous video yet, then you can watch it now by clicking the I button overlay in the top right corner of this video. Now open up your Coppercube project from the previous video, which will look something like this. Now select the default or active camera here, go to its behavior tab, create a new scripted behavior and select 2D camera script here. Select player as your player and select camera as your active camera. Note down this X forward here and check mark it, because our player is moving on the X axis here. If your character is moving on Z forward or Z axis, then you have to select the Z forward here and uncheck the X forward here. And you might be wondering what is this stop camera left and stop camera up here. So there are times when we want our camera to stop following or stop chasing the player at a certain position or at a certain height. Then we will use this stop camera left and stop camera up. Stop camera left is for the x-axis or the direction the player is moving, and stop camera up is the height. So in this case I want my camera to stop following the player at 544 on the x-axis. So now if I check the application, then you will notice that the camera is now following the player. Alright, now we are going to fix the animation switching issues, but before that I want to duplicate this platform here and move it here so that our character will have more area or more space to move around. And I'm gonna scale it. I'm gonna duplicate it again and move it up here, scale it down. Alright, now what we are going to do is we are going to break or divide the jump animation into two parts. One when the character jumps up, and the another one when the character falls down. So select your jump animation scene node here and duplicate it by pressing Ctrl C. Duplicate it 2 times and delete this jump animation scene node here. Go to jump 1 and change its name to jump up and rename the jump 2 to jump down, and delete this animated texture behavior from both the scene nodes and change their texture according to their name. Select the jump up and choose the jump up animation here as the texture. Select jump down and choose the jump down texture as the animation. Now go to your root scene node, go to its behavior tab and select this every few seconds do something behavior. select this player animation is equal to jump and rename the jump to jump up. Go to its action, and there is an action, hide or unhide a scene node, make visible. Select the jump up scene node here, choose else, then select the jump up scene node here again, and we are going to do the same for the jump down animation by creating a new if a variable has a value, then if a variable has a value, do something. Player animation is equal to jump down, then hide or unhide a scene node, make visible, jump down, and else hide or unhide a scene node, make it invisible, select jump down, hit OK. What it will do is it will trigger the jump up and jump down animation whenever we press the jump key. Now select the player mesh and delete this previously created on key left up behavior here, which is used for the spacebar key, and attach a new scripted behavior, do something when a object is on ground. Now select the player as your object and action when grounded, variables and text, set or change a variable, player action, and we are going to set it as jump. What it will do is whenever character is on ground, then it will set the variable player action as jump, which means it allows the character to jump, and we will be going to change this variable after the jump is executed, so that our character will know that its jump sequence is over and it will go through the falling sequence. So to do that, select this when a key pressed is do something, key pressed is spacebar, and remove this previously created set or change variable, player animation is equal to jump, and create a new if a variable has a value, do something, player action is equal to jump, then do something, set or change a variable. We are going to change the player animation to jump up here, player animation to jump up, and we are going to use the do something later action here. Go to add a new action, go to scripted action and select do something later and choose 400 millisecond as the time period. An action to do is we are going to change the player action variable to fall instead of jump. Now set or change a variable, player action to fall. So now what it will do is whenever we press the spacebar key, it will make the character jump and switch the jump up animation, and after 400 milliseconds it will change the variable player action to fall. And now we are going to add another behavior here, behavior triggered by events, every few seconds do something, and we are going to check it every single millisecond. So the time interval we are going to use is 1, and if a variable has a value, then do something, player action is equal to fall, then change the player animation to jump down. So set a new variable here, player animation to jump down. Alright, now if I test the application, then it will play the jump animation when I press the jump up key, and it will change the jump animation into falling animation after 400 millisecond. Let me quickly just show you. If I press the jump key, then it will change the animation to jump down after the 400 millisecond. But you will not be able to see the difference because the jump speed is too much high. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna decrease the gravity to something like 2. You can decrease the gravity by going into your new 3D scene node here, which is your root scene node, and go to its attributes. Then there will be gravity, and change the gravity value to 2. And I'm gonna decrease the jump speed by selecting the player mesh and go to its simple 2D jump and run player, and jump speed to 0.35 and jump length to 300, maybe the 0.3. Jump speed is equal to 0.3. And now if I test the application, alright, if I press the spacebar key, then you will notice that the player is showing the jump up animation and the fall down animation perfectly. So when the player jumps, it will showing the jump up animation. When the player falls down, it is showing the jump down animation. But still there is issue. It is not going to idle animation whenever the player touches the ground, and it is still moving the player in the mid-air while jumping, and we don't want this. So to fix that, what we are going to do is we are going to select this behavior when a key pressed is do something, and the key pressed is left arrow key, and we are going to change the name here, value name here of the variable player animation is not equal to jump up, because we have changed the jump animation into 2 parts. So now we are going to use the same thing for both the jump up and jump down animation or variable. So if a variable has a value do something, player animation is not equal to value jump up, and then we are going to delete this set or change variable player animation to run, and now we are going to add another variable. If a variable has a value do something, player animation is not equal to jump down, and now we are going to add a new variable, set or change a variable, player animation to run, player animation to run. So what it will do is it will check if the player animation is jump or falling down, then it will not allow the player to run or change the animation to run. But if the player is not in the jump loop, or it is not jumping up or neither falling down, then it will allow the player to move. So we are going to do the same with the right key here. We will check if the player is jumping or not jumping by checking the jump up variable here, player animation is not equal to jump, and then we are going to do the same for the player jump down animation. If a variable has a value, player animation is not equal to jump down, is not equal to jump down. Okay, then we are going to change the variable player, sorry, we are going to change the variable player animation to value run. Now whenever the player will jump, and if we press the key, right arrow key or left arrow key, then it will stop the player from choosing the run animation or switching the run animation. Now let me just quickly check it. So I press the jump key and I'm moving in the mid-air. I press the left key and right key, but the player is not switching the run animation, so it's working fine. Now we want our player to automatically switch to the idle animation whenever it touches the ground or whenever it is on the ground. So how to do that? There are two ways to do that. First, go to this every few seconds to something behavior and attach a new variable here, else. In the else property, set or change a variable player animation to idle. And now it will show the idle animation, but it will not allow the player to move on the ground. So how to fix that? It's easy. Remove it from here and then attach a new if a variable has a value to something, player action is equal to jump, and variable send text. If a variable has a value, player animation is equal to jump down. And then what we are going to do is we are going to change the player animation to idle. Player animation to idle. Now it will fix the idle animation issue. So now the player is moving, it is going to idle animation, and if I press the jump key now, it is jumping and then falling down and then switching back to the idle animation. So it is now jumping, and the best part is it will stay in the falling loop until it touches the ground. So it doesn't matter the whatever height at you are, and if you are jumping from that height, it will stay in the jump down loop until you touches the ground. So this is how you can fix the animation switching issues. But still there is a issue here, which is if the key pressed, if the player is jump and you are moving, then it will slide here like this. If you hold down your arrow keys and if you jump, then it will slide instead of moving like this. So in next video I will show you how to fix that, and we will be creating some level designing in the next video by placing some tiles and platforms, and I will show you some tips and tricks on how to create platforms or create tiles or pick up items and all those stuff. So that's all for today's video. We have almost fixed the animation switching issues and we have our camera follow here. So in next video we will be fixing this sliding issue, and we will be adding some level designing stuff. So if you liked my video, then subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon so that whenever I upload a new video or whenever I come live, go live, then you will get the notification. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.